Good afternoon. Welcome to Delta High School. Peyton Park, Niall Robinson going to bring you the game between Juab High School and the Delta Rabbits. Before we get started, Peyton, why don't we run over the list of our sponsors for today's game?
Let me see. Oh, I don't have that ready.
Peyton's searching on the phone.
I'm searching. Lost it deep in the.
All right.
Let's see.
Delta's going to take the field, and we're about ready to get underway.
Let's see.
You got it? I've got it. We'll go with this. Central Valley Medical Center sponsors the strikeouts. And then we have Nebo Levitt Insurance. Go visit Kevin and Riker. Newton Construction, Kerry Anderson Real Estate, Chili's, HRV Plumbing, the Cages in Nephi, Lindsay and Holly Real Estate. They have sponsored the triples as well, and they've sponsored a few. We've had a few triples so far this year. Park Home Furnishings, and they sponsor the home runs, and I can only think of one home run so far that has been hit down to St. George. Connor Cowan.
I think you're right.
And then Jarrett Wicker Real Estate, he sponsored the stolen bases, and he's been sponsoring a lot of them because Juab has made it a case this year to steal bases, and they've been very successful. I don't think we've had very many caught stealing, so
I don't think so.
We're going to continue to do that. Delta as well has some fast guys, and they run the bases as well. So, all right, we're set to go. The starting lineup for Juab: Trevin Park in center field, Luke Marostica at shortstop, and Connor Cowan at first base will be the first three batters due up for Juab. Mason Robinson on the mound for Delta. And the first pitch in there for a called strike one. Little curveball that circled around and caught the outside corner. That's in the dirt, ball one. 1-1 the count as he tried to throw another curveball, but it got away from him early and hit in front of the plate.
Yeah, Trevin's kind of taken this leadoff role these past couple of games, and he really is what you want out of a leadoff hitter. You can see a lot of pitches, and he's fast on the bases. So,
in there for a called strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball in the inside corner from Mason Robinson. Trevin flares one to the right field side. And that's going to drop in fair, and Trevin is on his way. It gets past the right fielder, and Trevin is on his way to third base, and he's going to be at third base with a stand-up triple. Nobody touched it out in right field. It kind of bounced and got away from the right fielder and went past him, and so Trevin's on third base right off the bat.
No errors there. That's a triple.
So, a little bit of information for you folks listening. Austin Park is not with us today. He is sick, I understand. In fact, he's not even here. He's at home. He's at home in bed, listening to the game, hopefully. So, Austin, get better. Luke Marostica is going to be the batter. In there for a call, strike one. Trevin Park down at third base. Luke checking with Josh over to the dugout. Upstairs, ball 1-1 the count. Luke Marostica the batter. Connor Cowan on deck. Trevin Park over at third as he led off with a triple. And a swing and a miss. Robinson took a little bit off of that, and Luke was way ahead of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Luke waits. That's outside. 2-2 the count, as he tried to get Luke to offer on a downstairs fastball. 2-2 the count. Runner at first base, nobody out. And a curveball that stayed high. That'll fill the count. 3-2. Luke Moroska, the batter. Connor Cowan stands on deck. And the pitch outside, and Luke will draw a ball 4, and he'll draw a walk and go down to first base. So we've got runners at the corners, and the leading RBI and leading batting average batter up for Connor Cowan.
About an impressive 405 on the air so far.
So far, and Connor's been hitting the ball, and he's been hitting the ball hard.
Mm-hmm.
Even he doesn't get cheated when he's up there. He hits the ball hard.
That's for sure.
Sometimes it's right at him, but he has been bringing in the runs. Throw over to first base. Luke back safely. So Connor's got an opportunity to make a statement right here in the first inning with runners at the corner, nobody out. Luke takes off, and Trevin, they throw the ball down to third, and Trevin's going to come in to score. And just like that, Juab takes the lead 1-0.
This team's just really good at manufacturing runs in any way they can. I think that's the most impressive part for me.
Yeah, and the thing that they've been doing, we haven't been scoring a lot of runs, but we've been effective when runners are in scoring position.
Mm-hmm.
So Luke goes on down to second base on the throw by the catcher, got past the third baseman, and that brought Trevin in. So Luke stands on second base. Connor and that's another high ball. Two balls. 1 strike to count. And Connor was all over that one. He fouled it straight back. And the count remains 2-1. Or 2-2 now is the count. Luke takes a small lead off at second base. The shortstop, he's back in his position. And he swirls around, and no throw to second base as Luke is able to get back. So our compadre, I'll just add this, Cameron Wright, even as we speak, is on the plane headed for Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, really?
He's going to watch the Masters on Saturday and Sunday. So
good for Cam.
So yeah, that's what I said. Darn it, wish I was you, Cam.
Guess watch for him on TV, huh?
Yeah, 2-2 the count. And Connor fouls it back. The girls are playing softball. Delta's girls are playing softball, so they'll put the ball over into their field. Count remains 2-2. Mason Robinson on the mound for Delta. Cash Nielsen behind the plate. And Connor again fouls it straight back.
Really good at bat for Connor here. Seen a lot of pitches.
You know, Connor's seeing the ball. He's seeing the ball. He's fouling off the pitches that aren't to his liking. And that one's upstairs. Ball 3, full count to Connor Cowan. Kai Hansen waits on deck for Juab. Again, Luke Moroska on second base. Full count to Connor Cowan. Connor fouls that off of his shin, and he'll walk that off a little bit. He's wearing a shin guard, and I think it got part of it. So Count remains full, 3-2. Mason Robinson set to deliver. He'll bring it to home and strike out as Connor caught looking at that pitch. So 1 out. And that'll bring up the catcher, Kai Hansen, with Luke Moroska standing on second base. Jimmy Larson would follow Kai. Swing and a miss, strike one for Kai, as that pitch stayed outside. Kai, I think, thought it was going to come across the plate, and it stayed out there, and he was committed, so 0-1 the count.
Here's an interesting stat for you. Kai is third in batting average on the team, but leads the team in on-base percentage. So he gets really good at bats when he's up. He does,
and in there for a call strike two, so 0-2 the count to Kai Hansen. As Mason come with a fastball, and Kai was not expecting it, I don't think. 0-2 the count. 1 out, runner on second base. Mason Robinson, the pitcher. Luke takes off, and then he goes back to second base, and that ball is high for 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Everybody has moved up 1 position in the batting order with Austin not being here. So Kai is batting in the 4th spot. Pitcher wheels around and fakes the throw to second base as Luke gets back safely. Douglas Field is in pretty good shape. We've seen it before when it wasn't, but it's in pretty good shape. Outside, 2-2 the count to Kai Hansen.
I feel like we used to play Delta a lot earlier, so the grass is a little more yellow.
I think that's the case as well. The field's had a chance to get a few storms on it, and they've mowed it a few times, and it really looks like it's in great shape. Slow pitch on the outside corner, doesn't drop in there. That'll fill the count, 3-2. Kai Hansen, the batter. Luke Morostica stands on second base. Kai looking for a ball he can drive. And he had one, but he fouled it off to the right side. So the count remained full, 3-2. And I daresn't say it, but right now there's not a lot of wind in Delta.
It's a very slight breeze.
It's just a very slight breeze, which is uncommon. Downstairs to Kai, he'll take a base and go to first base. So Kai's at first, Luke Morostica at second, and that's going to bring Jimmy Case Larson up to bat. And Jimmy has been hitting the ball of late. He had three RBIs against ALA on Tuesday and hit the ball hard. So Jimmy's starting to find his rhythm a little bit. Catcher and pitcher is done with their meeting. Cash Nielsen back behind the plate. Jimmy Case Larson, the batter. 2 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss. The ball gets past the catcher, so runners will advance to second and third as Cash Nielsen that ball just kind of squirted under the mitt, and I think he thought he had it, and all of a sudden it was coming right at us. So the runners do advance up. Now we've got runners on second and third with 1 out, and Jimmy Case Larson, the batter. Jimmy with an opportunity to pick up a couple of RBIs. A floater up there just stays outside. for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Mason Robinson on the mound for Delta. Pitch in there for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that's a dead ball as the ball hit Jimmy down in the leg. So Luke is going to have to go back to third. And Jimmy will go to first, which brings the bases loaded. And Maddox stole the DH up to bat for Juab.
Man, for as long as this inning's been, it's weird to only see 1 run on the board.
There's 1 run in for Juab. There's bases loaded. There's 1 out. Maddox stole the batter. He's the DH for Juab today. And Maddox hit 1 solid, but over the fence to the right field side, out of play. And already we're out of baseballs.
A lot of foul balls have been hit
There's
this
been
inning.
a lot of foul balls. Connor hit about 4. And so now 1 comes in from the Delta bench. 0-1 the count to Maddox stole. He's got the bases loaded. 1 out. 1 runner is in for Juab. Maddox waits for the pitch. Mason Robinson to deliver. And Maddox hits 1 to deep center field. The center fielder will catch it, but that'll drive in 1 run, and the runner will advance to third. So Maddox gets a sacrifice fly and picks up her RBI with a fly ball to center field. And now Juab leads 2-0. Jack Peterson outrunning for Kai Hansen, the catcher, so he advances to third. That's going to bring up Colin Mattinson. He's going to be on the mound today for Juab. And the throw over to first as Jimmy gets back. Jimmy Case Larson on first base. Jack Peterson on third base. 2 out. 2 are in for Juab. That was all the runs that Juab scored the last time we played Delta over home. Final score of that game was 2-1. And so Juab hoping to get the bats going and pick up a few more RBIs. Swing and a miss by Cohen. Strike 1. As that curved ball, Cohen was way out ahead of the pitch. Owen won the count. Jimmy gets a lead at first. Jack on third. Jimmy takes off for second. And Jack is back over safe at third as the first baseman throws over there. And Jimmy will get a stolen base down to second base.
I'm not going to lie, with 2 outs, I don't think that's really what you want to do there. I think you want to get the guy out going to second, but worked out for us.
Yeah, Jimmy kind of held up, wanting the first baseman to commit. Jack was poised and ready to come home, but the first baseman went over to third base. Jack in safely. So now Cohen's got 2 runners in scoring position. 1 strike, and fouled straight back. 0-2 the count. Cohen Mattinson with an opportunity here to pick up a couple of RBIs for Juab. Anything out of the infield, and he'll score 2 runs. Curveball outside. It stayed outside. It's trying to work its way back, but didn't quite make it. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Now the pitch. It bounces in the dirt, and Cash Nielsen able to keep it in front of him. As that brings the count to 2-2. Cohen Mattinson, the batter. Jimmy Larson on second base. Upstairs, ball 3. As the throw, Cash Nielsen threw down to second, and Jack broke for home and scored the run.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do if you get caught. Just full send all the way to the plate and hope you can beat the throw out.
Beat the throw, and Jack was able to slide under the tag by Cash Nielsen. So now Juab has 3 runs in as Cohen picks up an RBI just standing at home plate. Jimmy takes off, and the third baseman can't handle it. Cohen takes a ball 4, so Cohen will go down to first base. Jimmy is safe at third with another stolen base, and we ought to recognize we're
all the Jared Wicker real estate steals.
We've got let's just call it out. We've got 1, 2, 3 stolen bases so far for Jarrett Wicker, and that's going to bring up Corbin Buchanan, who's playing third base today. Swing and a miss, and foul ball straight back. That's not a swing and a miss. That's a foul ball straight back.
We have a speed up runner on first as well. We have Andrew Woodland.
Andrew Woodland in for Cohen Mattinson. Cohen being the pitcher, the speed up runner. So the throw over to, and they got Andrew leaning the wrong way and tagged him out at first to retire the side. But Juab picks up 3 runs, and that's a good way to start the game.
I think so.
We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Up for Juab. And we're back at Delta High School, where Juab picked up 3 runs in the top half of the first inning. Defensively, for Juab, Trevin Park is in center field, Luke Morostica at shortstop, Connor Cowan at first base, Kai Hansen behind the plate, Jimmy Case Larson in right field, Maddox Stoll the DH, Cohen Mattinson on the mound for Juab, Corbin Buchanan at third base, Hayden Adams at second base, and Trayson Coombs is going to be in left field. Now batting for Delta, Cash Nielsen. He'll be followed by Roper Crane, and Tyler Davies. Cohen Mattinson on the mound for Juab. Fly ball to center field. Trevin backing up. And it about got over his head, but Trevin was able to pull that in. Just for a second there, it looked like Trevin was having trouble with it, but he pulled it in for the first out. 1 swing, and there's 1 out. That'll bring up Roper Crane, the shortstop, followed by Tyler Davies. In there for a call, strike 1. As Cohen threw the breaking ball in there, and it broke right across the inside corner. 0-1 the count. And that one got away from Cohen over the top, over Kai's head.
It looked like a curveball that got released way too early.
Way early, and that just sailed over Kai's head. So 1-1 the count. Cohen Manson on the mound. Outside ball 2, 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Cohen outside, and that's 3-1 in the count. It looked like Cohen come off the mound kind of strange, and that ball sailed outside. Fly ball over our head, and that'll bring the count to full 3-2.
You know, I have been a target.
Foul ball back to us. Count remains 3-2. So Crane battling for Delta. Cohen Mattinson on the mound. 1 out. A long fly ball to center field. And that's downstairs as Roper Crane draws the walk from Cohen Mattinson, and he'll take first. And that's going to bring up third baseman number 7, Tyler Davies, with a runner on first base. Fly ball over to the right side. Hayden Adams camps under it. He brings it in. And Hayden will bring that in for a fly ball caught. And 2 out. And that will bring up the DH, number 8, Cooper Nielsen for Delta. Hayden showing a lot of range on that as he drifted over almost behind first base. He had the better angle at it than Connor did. Runner goes, and there's no play for Kai as he stole that on Cohen, and he was gone before Cohen or Kai had any chance.
He was gone before Cohen lifted his leg, I think.
It was pitch is upstairs, so 1-0 the count. 2 out. Runner on second base now. In there for a call strike. 1-1 the count. As I said, Delta's not afraid to steal bases either. They, when they played North Sanpete, they stole a bunch of bases. And a fly ball to right field is Jimmy back. And Jimmy running to the fence, catches it, brings it in for the third out, and that'll retire the side. So Delta picks up no runs on 1 hit. Excuse me, that was a walk. And after 1 complete, it's 3-0 for Juab. We're back live at Delta High School. Peyton Park, Niall Robinson bringing you the game between the Delta Rabbits and the Juab Wasps. Juab right now on top, leading 3-0. They picked up 3 runs in the top half of the first inning. In the top half of the second inning, it'll be Corbin Buchanan, Hayden Adams, and Trevin Park. The first 3 batters due up for Juab. Corbin playing third base today. Mason Robinson on the mound, and that ball bounces in front of the plate for ball 1.
This is only Corbin's 6th at-bat of the year.
No, only his 6th.
But it's really surprising because he's a really good hitter.
Yeah, he is. And that ball bounced in front of the plate, and it's 2-0 the count to Corbin. He pitched a gem against ALA on Tuesday, ball 3 downstairs. He had threw a 2-hitter against ALA, give up no runs and just 2 hits. He had 7 strikeouts. He watches 4 balls in the dirt, and Corbin will go to first.
Hey, let's go, Bill.
And Hayden Village Adams is going to be the batter for Juab. And Hayden in a situation where he'll check Coach Park out. Hayden he's been deadly with the bunts this year. He's been getting more base hits with bunts than sacrifices. And that is upstairs a little high, but the umpire called it a strike, so 0-1 the count. As Hayden couldn't believe it was a strike either. So 0-1 the count. Corbin Buchanan over on first base, throw over, and he gets back safe. Mason's got a pretty good move to first base from the left. He's left-handed pitcher, so he can see what the runner's doing over there. Hayden waits for the pitch. That's upstairs, 1-1 the count. And so far, Hayden hasn't squared around a bunt. So he's looking to drive the ball, see if he can advance Corbin. Another throw over to first base as the ball gets away from the first baseman, but not far enough for Corbin to advance. 1-1 the count to Village Adams. Upstairs again, ball 2. We tried to bring that curveball in, and it just stayed up there. Two balls, 1 strike. Hayden has the sign from Coach Park. Corbin Buchanan, runner at first base, nobody out. Downstairs, ball 3. As Hayden laid off that curveball as it come crashing down to the dirt. 3-1 the count. Corbin Buchanan, the runner at first base. Hayden looked for a ball he can drive here. Swing and a miss as he got one, and he couldn't catch up to it. That'll be a full count, 3-2.
Gotta win it.
Mason looks in. Hayden swings at the ball in the dirt and strikes out for the first out. And that'll bring us to the top of the order. Trevin Park, the batter. He tripled the last time up the bat. Got the ball rolling for Juab. So Corbin Buchanan, the runner at first. Trevin Park, the batter. 1 out. Again, Robinson over to first base. They must have read some other scouting report that I haven't seen, because they're paying a lot of attention to Corbin at first. and that's outside for ball 1 to Trevin. I haven't seen any scouting report that says Corbin is a threat to steal. Everybody on Juab's team is a threat to steal. Mason delivers with a strike, a fastball in there for called strike, 1-1 the count. Trevin Park the batter. Corbin takes his lead off of first. Trevin hits it hard, but down the left field side, out of play. He was way ahead of that fastball and pulled it left field over the fence for a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and again the throw over to first. And I'll bet he's thrown over there 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, it's getting up there.
And Corbin's only got a 5-foot lead. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Trevin Park. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Trevin can't catch up with that. So there's 2 out in the inning. That'll bring up shortstop Luke Rostica. Corbin Mattinson still the runner at first base with 2 out as he drew a walk. In there for a call, strike 1 to Luke on the outside corner. Luke bats from the left side, from the right side. He's a left-handed batter. And he got a pitch he could drive, and he drove it in the gap between center and right, and it bounces. It bounces over the base, and it's too bad that it bounced over the fence because Corbin was going to score easily on that. But it's a ground rule double for Luke.
I think that only happens when I'm here because I think I've seen that happen 3 or 4 times where ground rule double actually hurts them.
Yep.
So I think I may be a bad jinx.
Yeah. That like I say, Corbin was going to score easily on that because neither the center fielder or the right fielder had got to the ball yet. But it took a hop and it bounced over the fence. So that's going to bring up Connor Cowan, the leading RBI for Juab. That ball's in the dirt, ball 1.
And the wind is starting to pick up in Delta. Surprise.
So we got 2 runners on, 2 out. Ever dangerous Connor Cowan up the bat, and that pitch is high, ball 2. Connor looked at his strike the first time up the bat. It come on inside, and he basically just gave up on it, and it caught the inside corner. So 2-0 the count. And Connor fouls it straight back. Little curveball that come in there, and Connor got under it just a little bit, and that'll make the count 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. That ball's in the dirt, ball 3. As Kai Hansen would be next if Connor can find a way to get on base. 3-1 the count, 2 out, 2 runners on second and third. In there for a call, strike 2, and basically the same pitch that he struck out on last time. That'll bring the count full, 3-2. Mason Robinson on the mound for Delta. The pitch down in the dirt, and Connor will take a walk and go to first base. And that will load the bases for Kai Hansen, who is batting in the cleanup spot for Juab tonight. And Kai with an opportunity to put a dent in the thing right here. Mm-hmm.
Robinson for Delta is already up to 61 pitches. So Juab's done a really good job just seeing pitches, being selective.
We've had a lot of counts go full against him. So Kai Hansen the batter, bases loaded, 2 out. Kai fouls it straight back for strike one. Oh and 1 the count. 2 out. Bases loaded. Kai Hansen the batter. Mason Robinson delivers. And Kai hits a line drive in front of the right fielder as 1 run will score and 2 runs will come in. As Kai picks up 2 RBIs and brings 2 runs in. Hard hit ball to right field. The line drive, perfect.
Exactly what you want to see right there.
So Corbin finally comes in to score as he's been on base for a long time.
Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here.
Luke comes in. Connor Cowan advances to second base. And Kai at first with 2 RBIs. Kai with 3 RBIs on the day. No. Yeah, it was Jimmy that drove in. Travenport. So we've got a pitching change for Delta right now. We'll take a break. We'll be right. So we're back at Delta High School. Meinhardt is the new pitcher for Delta as Robinson swing and a miss by Jimmy as the runner advances to second base.
Jarrett Wicker real estate steal there.
And Jack Peterson again running for Kai Hansen. Jimmy Case Larson the batter for Juab. And Jimmy hits one off the handle over to first baseman. He touches the bag to retire the side, but Juab picks up 2 more runs, and they now lead 5-0. We'll take a break. We'll be And we're back live at Delta High School. Peyton Park, Niall Robinson bring you the game between the Delta Rabbits and the Juab Wasps. Juab now leads 5-0 after 1.5 innings of play. That's going to bring up Ashton Stepanoff for Delta, followed by Ty Stepanoff and Zach Bliss. Cohen Manson on the mound for Juab. Curveball drops out of sight, and Ashton able to stay off of that, so it's 1-0 the count. Upstairs ball 2, 2-0. Ashton Stefanoff is the right fielder for Delta. That's high ball 3, and Stefanoff way ahead in the count, 3-0 the count. Cohen Madison, the pitcher, in there for a call, strike 1. 3-1 the count. Ashton waits for the pitch. Cohen delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And Cohen ahead of the count. Full count, 3-2. And he loses him upstairs, ball 4. For the second walk in the game for Cohen. Ashton will go down to first base, and that'll bring up Ty Stefanoff, the second baseman for Delta. So Ashton Stefanoff, the base runner at first base for Delta. Tie up the bat, swing and a miss, strike 1. Zach Bliss, the batter, on deck for Delta. Juab leads 5-0 in the bottom half of the second inning. Fly ball to center field, and Trevin coming up. Now he'll bring it in. Back, gets the ball back to the infield for 1 out. Trevin took a step back, and then he come forward and was able to get underneath that and bring it in for no problem. So 1 out, and that'll bring up left fielder Zach Bliss for Delta. Upstairs, ball 1. Zach took the loss against Juab when they come over home. Foul ball straight back, 1-1 the count. Like I said, Juab only won that game 2-1, and it was a pitcher's duel. And Connor Cowan was on the mound, and he had runners on first and third, 2 out, and was able to strike out. And Bliss fouls it over to the right side, and that's going to get out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. Zach Bliss, the batter. Ashton Stefanoff, the runner at first base for Delta. And a fly ball over to right field, and Jimmy can't get to it, and Hayden couldn't get to it, so it's going to fall in for a base hit, and that's going to put runners at first and second.
It looked like Jimmy couldn't really see it off the bat because he was late to react. Hayden almost got out there to get it, but
Hayden made a diving effort at it, and just out of his reach as it bounced, and Jimmy caught it and got the ball back into second base. So that's going to bring up Mason Robinson, the pitcher. 2 on, 1 out. That ball is downstairs as Cohen misses with the curveball downstairs. Ashton Stefanoff, Zach Bliss, the runners at first and second. Outside ball 2 is Cohen again, misses with that curveball. Two and 0 the count, 1 out. Runners on first and second for Delta. Fouled off to the right side. Mason Robinson, the batter. 2 balls, 1 strike. And again, we're out of baseballs. We've had a lot of foul balls, and now one comes in from the Juab side.
Also helps that Delta doesn't have a super high fence here, so a lot of foul balls do get out.
Yep. So the count 2-1 to Mason Robinson, pitcher for Delta. 1 out, 2 runners on base. Swing and a miss, strike 2 as Cohen got the fastball by him. Runners at first and second. 2-2 the count. 1 out. And Cohen misses outside with that pitch. That'll bring the count to 3-2. Tice Rube, the batter waiting on deck for Delta. Foul ball comes back, and Kai can't get to it as it's a big foul ball area in this field. Home plate is probably 50 feet away from the fence, and anything that's not high in the air is going to be tough for the catcher to get to. So count remains 3-2. And Cohen misses him outside, and that'll load the bases for Delta. And Coach Rosenbeck's going to come out and talk to Cohen for a minute and just kind of see where he's at, see what he's thinking. Bases are loaded with Rabbits and Tice Dubé. He's going to be the batter for Delta. Meeting on the mound is over with. Kai will trot back to behind the plate. And Con Mattinson looks at bases loaded, 1 out, and Tice Dubé the batter. Cohen looks in. He has the sign from Kai. Swing and a miss, strike 1 as Cohen threw a high fastball in there, and Tice Dubé couldn't catch up with it. So 0-1 the count. Fouled straight back. 0-2 the count. Cohen ahead in the count. 0-2. 1 out. Runners on all 3 bases. And a fly ball foul out of play down over the right side. Count remains 0-2. Cohen looks in. He has the sign from Kai. He'll deliver. And a fly ball over the right side. Connor Cowan camps under it. And he brings it in for the second out. That'll bring us to the top of the order. Cash Nielsen, the batter. Runners, bases loaded for Delta. 2 out, and Cash Nielsen, the catcher for Delta, up to bat. And there, the umpire is saying the ball hit the batter, but it sounded like it hit the bat from here.
Well, I think Coach Park's arguing that he leaned right into the pitch. I think it got his elbow guard, and that's why it sounded like that. But Cohen was really mad that he leaned into it, looks like.
So the umpires are going to get together and talk about it. And we'll see what they decide. It did bring a run in if it stands. So they're going to let it stand, and Cash Nelson is going to go to first on they say a hit by pitch, and that's going to bring a run in for Delta, and the runners will advance, and that'll bring up Roper Crane, the shortstop. So Delta picks up a run. There's 2 out in the inning. Bases are still loaded. And Cohen Manson on the mound. Bases loaded, 2 out. Roper Crane, the batter. He's the shortstop for Delta. And that just misses outside with the fastball. For ball 1. Cohen looks in, has the sign. Downstairs, 2-0 the count. Bases loaded. Pinch runner for Delta, number 14 over there for Cash Nelson. In there for a call, strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Roper Crane, the batter. Bases loaded, 2 out. Cohen, and a line drive over the second baseman's head is going to make it to center field, and 1 run is going to score, and 2 runs are going to come in as Roper Crane picks up 2 RBIs. So that makes the score 5-3 now for Juab. And the base runner running for Cash Nelson makes it over to third. And it looks like we're going to have a change in pitcher for Juab, so we'll take a break and we'll be right back. And we're back live at Delta High School. Peyton Park, Niall Robinson. Delta just picked up 3 runs in the bottom half of the second inning. Score is now 5 for Juab, 3 for Delta. Porter Howard is the new pitcher on the mound for Juab. And Tyler Davies, the third baseman, up to bat. Runners on the corners, first and third. In there for a call, strike 1 from Porter Howard. On 1 the count. Runner takes off from first. And the runner is still standing on third as the ball is thrown down to short. And the runner will advance down to second base with the stolen base. Foul ball straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tyler Davies. Runners on second, third, 2 out. Porter Howard on the mound for Juab. Outside, 2-2 the count. Porter is a big, tall, 6'4" left-hander, and when he releases the ball, he's only about 50 feet away from the batter. He has a big wingspan. So 2-2 the count. Excuse me. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that just misses on the outside corner for 2-2. 2 out. Runners on second. Deuces are wild. It's 2-2 the count. 2 on, 2 out. Porter Howard, the pitcher. In there for call, strike 3, and Tyler Davies goes down on strikes. And that's the first Central Valley Medical Center strikeout for Juab, as Porter Howard brings that in to retire the side. Delta picks up 3 runs on 1 hit. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Ready. Live at Delta High School, it's Peyton Park. Niall Robinson bringing the action. Delta picks up 3 runs in the bottom half of the second inning. The score now 5-3 for Juab. Coming up in the top half of the third inning for Juab will be Maddox Stoll, the DH. Porter is going to take the place of Colin Madison, so Porter's going to bat in Colin's spot, and then Corbin Buchanan, the first 3 batters. So Maddox Stoll drives one to the right field, out of play, and Meinhardt is the pitcher for Delta. 0-1 the count to Maddox Stoll. He's the DH for today. And that comes straight back towards us. 0-2 the count, as Maddox has fouled 2 pitches off. 0-2 the count. Nobody out, nobody on base. Meinhardt sets the deal. Upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Meinhardt tried to get Maddox to bite on that high fastball. He laid off. 1-2 the count. And Maddox drills it down the left field baseline. And that's going to get all the way to the fence. And Maddox is around the second base, and he's going to stand up at second with a stand-up double. And Maddox hit the ball hard right there.
Yeah, it was a high fastball. He just went up and got it. Quick hands, top of the zone, and drove it to the left side and pulled it.
So it's good to see Maddox get a base hit like that. He hit that ball hard. And he's standing on second base with a stand-up double. Porter Howard will be the new pitcher, or the new batter. And he's the new pitcher. Porter hits the ball well. He just hasn't had that many chances on this season. Maddox gets the lead at second. Upstairs, ball 1 to Porter.
This is only his second varsity at bat of the season.
Yep. No, I was going to say, I didn't think he had very many at-bats on the varsity level. He's hit the ball well and when he's been playing JV. And he fouled that off, straight back. Out on the end of the bat a little bit, 1-1 the count. Maddox stole down on second base with a stand-up double down the left field baseline. Porter Howard the batter, 1-1 the count. Juab leads 5-3 in the top half of the third inning, and it's in there for a call, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Corbin Buchanan waits on deck for Juab. Meinhardt looks in. He has the sign from Cash Nielsen. He delivers, and Porter hits it to right, the first baseman. Maddox moves over to third, so Porter going to get a sacrifice and move the runner over to third base. And that's going to bring up Corbin Buchanan with 1 out, runner on third base. Meinhardt looks in. He has the sign. That ball bounces in the dirt, but not far enough away for Maddox to get to home. 1-0 the count. Corbin Buchanan the batter. Corbin looking to drive something to the right side to score Maddox. That ball is outside. 2-0 the count to Corbin. Downstairs, ball 3 as Corbin looks at 3 straight balls. Hayden Village Adams is on deck for Juab. Meinhardt delivers in there for a call, strike 1 as Corbin was taking all the way. So 3-1 the count. Corbin looking for a pitch that he can drive right here and drive Maddox in, pick up that run. In there for a call, strike 2 as it looked like Corbin was taken again. So now it's full count, 3-2. Corbin Buchanan the batter. Maddox stole, waits down on third base. And the pitch in the dirt. Ball 4, so Corbin takes a walk. He'll go down to first base. And that'll bring up second baseman Hayden Village Adams. Runners at the corners. 1 out. Hayden, a strikeout victim, last time up. Hoping to capitalize right here. Pick up a RBI.
Go, Bill.
And Corbin over at first base again. The pitcher steps off and looks at him. And Corbin drawing a lot of attention over at first base from the Delta pitchers.
Maybe it's us that don't know.
Outside and the throw to Corbin. They're down to first base, but it's off the mark. The first baseman able to gather that up. Outside ball 1 to pitch to Village Adams. Again, they're paying a lot of attention to Corbin Buchanan at first base. He'll take the lead. In there for a call, strike 1 as Hayden looked like he was taking all the way. 1-1 the count. I think he might have thought that there was a sign on. I think he thought Corbin was going to try and steal second. But 1-1 the count. In there for a call, strike 2. And Hayden way behind in the count.
Hey, battle now.
Runners on the corners, 1 out. Village waits for the pitch. In there, upstairs, Corbin is going to get tagged out by a country mile, and Maddox is still standing on third base. So
Coach Park wants a balk. He's not going to get it.
Not going to get it. And Corbin is thrown out trying to steal second, so two out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul ball as Village able to get a piece of that. Count remains 1-2. 2-2 the count, excuse me. That last pitch on the throw out at second base was a ball, so it's 2-2 the count. Maddox still waits on third. Village fouls it out to over the backstop. Count remains 2-2. Here we go. Meinhardt waits, set to deliver. Downstairs, ball 3. As Hayden able to lay off that pitch. That was the one he struck out on last time. Full count, 3-2. And Village again fouls it off to the right side, and nobody able to get to that as it goes over the right field fence. Count remains full, 3-2. Hayden needs to put the bat on the ball, find a place for it, and drive Maddox in, pick up that RBI. That's upstairs, ball 4. Hayden able to draw the walk, and he'll trot down to first. That'll bring up the top of the order. Trevin Park, the batter, with runners on the corners and 2 out. Trevin Park, the batter, batting leadoff today. So Hayden will, it's in there for a call, strike 1 to Trevin. 0-1 the count. Maddox Stoll on third base. Hayden Adams on first base. Trevin Park, the batter. And Hayden, I think, was going to go try and get the first baseman to try to get Maddox, but with 2 outs and Maddox Stoll on first, Hayden draws a throw over to first base. Maddox Stoll on third, 2 out. Probably not the best play. Hayden takes off, and the throw is going to be down in the dirt. And Maddox comes in and scores, and it works anyway. So Village gets a stolen base down to second base, and another
Jarrett Wicker Real Estate
stolen base. That's the 5th one on the day. And Village sits down on second base as the throw kind of went over to the shortstop a little bit, and there was no play at second base, and then Maddox Stoll come home and was able to beat the throw. So
Here we go, Trav.
1-1 the count. Trevin Park at the plate, and he fouled it straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Trevin, standing at home plate, just picked up an RBI. Just minding his own business. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trevin Park, the batter. Hayden on second base. And Trevin was able to reach out and get the bat on the ball as it was way outside. So count remains 1-2, 2 out. Base runner on second base. One run is in for Juab. Fouled straight back again. Trevin all over that one. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes, and we're out of baseballs again. I know you find that hard to believe, but we've had a lot of foul balls. And they don't seem to be coming back in.
Yeah. Where are all these going?
So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trevin Park, the batter. Hayden Adams down on second base, 2 out, 1 run in for Juab. Meinhardt, the pitcher, he looks in, has the sign. He'll deliver, and Trevin fights that off and fouls it over to the left side, over to the dugout. Has another curveball, and Trevin was able to fight that off.
Pretty impressive at bat for Trevin here. Tough to foul all these off.
Find a spot, Trevin. That's what he's hoping for. Is find a spot out of the infield, and he hit a line drive to right to left field, and Hayden is going to come in and score as the third baseman cut the throw off, and Hayden Adams comes around to score, and Trevin Park picks up another RBI with a base hit to left field. So Juab now has 2 runs in the inning. They now lead 7-3, and Luke Morosica, the batter, with 2 out and a runner on first base. Trevin's always a threat to steal. Ball in the dirt, and Cash Nielsen able to block that one from going anywhere. 1-0 the count. 2 runs are in for Juab. Trevin Park, the base runner at first base. Luke Morosica, the batter. Downstairs, ball 2. So all of a sudden, Juab's having an inning. If Luke can keep it going, you bring Connor Cowan up, and who knows, maybe all of a sudden you get a rally going and pick up some runs. Downstairs, ball 3, and Luke way ahead of the count, 3-0 the count, and Connor Cowan would be next. With Trevin Park standing on first base, 3-0 the count to Luke Morosica. 2 out, 2 runs are in. In there for a called strike as Luke was taking all the way. So now Luke will be looking for a pitch that he can find a hole for. Trevin on first base. He'll be going with any kind of contact. And Luke swinging a miss, strike 2, as that pitch was up a little bit. 3-2 full count. Trevin will be off on the pitch. Luke Morosica, the batter. Outside ball 4, and Luke will take second, or first, and Trevin will trot down to second base. And just like that, there's 2 runners on. And coach from Delta is going to come out and have a word with his pitcher. So we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back live at Delta High School. The Delta coach is finished with his meeting on the mound. There's 2 runners on base, 2 out. Connor Cowan, the batter. Juab already has 2 runs in, and Connor with a chance to pick up some more. And that pitch is upstairs, ball 1. as Connor was a walk victim last time up. This is the third inning in a row that Connor has been up to bat. The first three batters have been up every inning. And Connor swings and misses at a fastball that was right in his wheelhouse. And he couldn't catch up to it. 1-1 the count. Trevin Park on second. Luke Narosika on first base. Connor Cowan the batter. 1-1 the count. 2 runs are in for Juab. And that pitch floats upstairs and misses high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Meinhardt still on the mound for Delta. Upstairs again, ball 3, and Connor again ahead of the count, 3-1. Two out, runners on first and second base. Connor Cowan the batter, as Connor hits a fly ball and it just makes it out on the screen above us, and that's going to load up the count, 3-2, as Connor just a little bit behind that one, as he got a pitch that he could drive, but he was just a little behind on it. Popped it up, foul to the right side. Full count, 3-2. The runners will be off on the pitch. If Connor can get a base hit right here, he can possibly pick up 2 more RBIs. And they throw to second base, and Trevin Park is back. So we'll do it all again. Bases loaded, or runners on first and second. Full count, 3-2. Connor Cowan the batter. Meinhardt looks in. He has the sign, and the runners take off, and Connor swings and misses, and it goes down on strikes. Juab picks up 2 runs, and we'll be back right after. We're live at Delta High School. Peyton Park, Niall Robinson, and Juab picks up 2 more runs. They now lead 7-3 as we come to the bottom half of the third inning. Cooper Nielsen, Ashton Stefanoff, and Ty Stefanoff will be the first 3 batters up for Delta, as Porter Howard is the pitcher for Juab on the mound now. 7-3 to score. Porter Howard, big, tall, left-handed pitcher for Juab. Cooper Nielsen, he's the DH. That first pitch is upstairs, ball 1 from Porter. It's a really nice day out here at Delta. It's, the wind is not blowing. The sun's been behind the clouds a little bit. That pitch is in there for a called strike, 1-1. And the sun kind of fades in and out, but it's been cloudy, and the temperature is just perfect for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
That ball hits the dirt and bounces up and hits the batter. So Cooper Nielsen will go to first base. And that'll bring up Ashton Stefanoff, the right fielder for Delta, as that ball hit on the grass in front of the dirt at home plate and then bounced up and hit the Cooper Nielsen. So swing and a miss, strike one by Ashton Stefanoff. Base runner at first is Cooper Nielsen. 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss, strike two, as Porter brings that big swooping curve in there, and Ashton unable to catch up to it. 0-2 the count. Base runner at first base. Porter looks at him, throws over to first. Runner back safe. Ashton stepping off the batter. 0-2 the count. Nobody out. Runner on first base for Delta. Strike three as Stefanoff laid off of it, but Porter able to get the second Central Valley Medical Center strikeout. And that'll bring up Ty Stefanoff, second baseman. Base runner on first base is Cooper Nielsen. Porter Howard, the pitcher, one out. Ty Stefanoff, the batter. That's upstairs, ball one. As Porter looks at the runner at first base, he'll bring it in the home plate and swing and a miss, strike one by Ty Stefanoff. 1-1 the count. When Porter brings the heat, they just can't catch up to it.
I mean, he has his command too. His command is really depends on if he has a really good outing or not so great one.
Foul ball out of play to the right side.
Because it's hard to hit either way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he is a force up there on the mound. When he delivers, like I say, he's only 50 feet away from the batter after he makes that stride. 1-2 the count. In there for a call, strike three, as Porter picks up another Central Valley Medical Center strikeout. That's two in the inning. And that'll bring up Zach Bliss, the left fielder. 1 on, 2 out. Porter Howard with 2 strikeouts in the inning. Porter looks in, and he'll throw over to first base, and Cooper Nielsen gets back easily. Porter looks in. He has the sign from Ty Hansen, and a base hit between first and second goes out to Jimmy Larson. And the run comes in. The ball gets past Corbin Buchanan at third base as Jimmy throws over to third base, and the run will come around and score. As Zach Bliss gets a base hit between first and second, and he'll go down to second base on the throw. And that'll bring up Mason Robinson, who started out pitching. And the ball gets away from Kai, and the runner will advance to third base. Kai and Porter have a meeting, and that's over with now. So 1-0 the count. Mason Robinson, the batter. And a base hit, line drive to left field, and that'll bring in another run. As Mason just went with the pitch on the outside and brings in another run. So Delta picks up 2 runs. as Mason Robinson gets an RBI. That'll bring up Tice Drubay, the first baseman, with a runner on first base, 2 out. In there for a call strike one. As Porter able to bring that on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Porter looks in. In there for a call strike two as Drubay almost looked like he was taking on that pitch, and that was a good hard pitch right down the middle. 0-2 the count. Drubay calls time. Now he's back in there. Porter ready to deliver. Runner on first. 2 out. 2 in. And a swing and a miss. And strike 3. And Porter strikes out all 3. And he gets another Central Valley Medical Center strikeout to retire the side. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Back live at Delta High School, Juab and Delta. After 3 complete, the score is 7-5 for Juab. In the top half of the 4th inning, Kai Hansen, Jimmy Larson, and Maddox Stoll, the first 3 batters due up for Juab. Kai Hansen already has 2 RBIs to his credit. And he walked the first inning and got a single. The second inning, pitch is in there for a call to strike 1. Meinhardt still on the mound for Delta. On 1 the count. And Kai, ground ball to second base, throw over to first, and Kai is retired. 4-3.
Well, that was the pitch Kai was looking for. He usually likes to look for stuff away so he can push the other side of the field, but just didn't get all that one.
Yeah, he couldn't get that elevated and hit a ground ball to the second baseman for 1 out. That'll bring up Jimmy Case Larson, who had 2 stolen bases the first time up the bat, and then he hit a dribbler down to first base last time up. Pitch is outside, ball 1, just missed on the outside corner. Maddox stole the DH, would be next. Maddox picked up a RBI, and then he had a base hit down in left field. Foul ball by Jimmy, and that makes the count 1-1. 1 out. Nobody on base. And Jimmy again to the first baseman, and he'll go over and touch the base for the second out.
Well, for a game that was moving slow, the bottom third, top fourth, been pretty quick.
Yeah, finally. The first 3 innings took forever. Maddox stole the DH, now up to bat for Juab. Like I said, he had a stand-up double last time up to base and later came in to score. 2 out. And Maddox fouls it straight back as he was on that pitch.
I was just about to say, watch him looking for something really high in the zone because that's what he hit last time.
Yep.
Just a little too high, that one.
That was just a little too high, but he got a piece of it. And he hits another line drive to left field, and Maddox is on first base for the second time as he goes 2 for 2 with a sacrifice in the first inning. And that'll put Maddox at first, and he's going to get a pinch runner at first base. And I'm trying to see who the pinch runner is for Juab.
Looks like Fisher Mitchell.
Is it Fisher Mitchell?
If my eyes aren't lying to me. I know it's one of the Mitchells.
It's one of the Mitchells. I'm going to tell you that. Okay, yeah, it's Fisher. So Fisher Mitchell, the pinch runner at first base for Maddox Stoll. And Porter Howard will step up to the plate. He had a sacrifice last time when he batted last. So the umpires got all the information written down, and Porter Howard will step in from the left side. And Porter fouls it off down the left field baseline. 1-1 the count. The ever dangerous Corbin Buchanan will be on deck if Porter is able to reach. He's drawn about 10 throws over to first base since he's been on the base. And Porter, another line foul ball down the left field side is the third baseman and the shortstop and the left fielder couldn't get up to it. On to the count. To Porter. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Porter goes down swinging for the third out. We'll take a break and we'll be back. And we're back live at Delta High School. Bottom half of the fourth inning, Juab up 7-5. And top of the order for Delta, Cash Nielsen, the batter. Porter Howard with a big sweeping curve. Drops in there across the outside base. And 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 2 as Porter pulled the string on that one and Cash couldn't catch up to it. 0-2 the count. And Porter tried to overthrow that one and a little high.
Porter's curveball just has so much bend to it that as a hitter you can't really predict where it's going to be because it could be at your feet or at the top of the zone. Just like that.
And again, that one started out looking good, and then the bottom fell off and it dropped in the dirt. Cash Nielsen able to lay off of that. 2-2 the count. Juab leading 7-5. And that's just upstairs, just missed upstairs. In a spot where that's been called the strike a couple of times. Strike 3 as Cash Nielsen thought he walked, and Porter Howard able to get another Central Valley Medical Center strikeout. And that'll bring up Roper Crane, the shortstop. And again, that pitch just comes on the inside corner, and Cash thought he had a walk, but a line drive just over Luke's reach, and it goes out to left field. So Roper Crane on base.
Luke has another inch on that arm. I think he can piece of it.
He was right at the top of his jump, and it was just out of his reach. So Roper on base for the second time, and that'll bring up Tyler Davies, the third baseman. And foul ball over the right side, and it's out of play. As Connor gave chase, but it went over the fence to the right side. 1-1 the count. Roper Crane, the base runner, on first base. Porter Howard on the mound for Juab. He looks at first, steps off, and Crane back over to first base. And the ball drops just out of the strike zone for Tyler. 1-1 the count. Roper Crane, the runner at first base. And a fly ball out to center field as Trevor unable to get to it as it bounced in front of him. So 2 runners on base, 2 singles, and that'll bring up Cooper Nielsen, the DH for Delta. Again, kind of a line drive right over Luke's head, and Trevin able to track it down on the hop, and runners on first and second with 1 out, and the DH, Cooper Nielsen, the batter. And that ball gets away from Kai outside, and runners will advance to second and third. One and all the count to Cooper Nielsen, DH for Delta. Again outside, ball 2. Two and all the count. Base runners at second and third, 1 out. Porter Howard on the mound. Drops that curveball right in there for a strike. It's just a big sweeping curveball that comes in there, and all of a sudden it just drops right into the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cooper Nielsen, the batter, and he'll call timeout and step out.
Yeah, sometimes the problem with that curveball is it's got so much bend that the hitter has a lot of time to see it. So
swing and a miss, strike 2. Again, Porter blocked that curveball in, and Cooper went out chasing it and couldn't catch up to it. So it's 2-2 with runners on second and third, 1 out. And a foul ball out of play is Cooper able to just catch a piece of that. Count remains 2-2. Nielsen steps out. Now he's back in there. Porter set to deliver. And again, Cooper able to just foul that off, as that was going to drop right in there too. And Cooper Nielsen able to just foul that off. Count remains 2-2. No, Porter misses upstairs with that curveball. Full count, 3-2. Runners at second, third, one out. And that pitch gets away from Kai as the runner will come in to score. And Cooper Nielsen draws the walk. And a run is in for Delta. And looks like Coach Park is going to go out and make a change for Juab. So we'll take a break and we'll let you know who the new pitcher is going to be. We're back live at Delta High School. Luke Marostica is going to be the new pitcher for Juab, as Porter goes 2 innings and faced 11 batters, had 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, give up 3 hits and 3 runs. So now runners are at the corners for Delta. 1 out, and Ashton Stefanoff, right fielder, now up to bat. And he'll face Luke Marostica on the mound for Juab. Swing and a miss, strike 1, as Luke brings the fastball right down the middle. One 1 the count, 1 out, 2 on. Swing and a miss, strike 2, as Luke bringing nothing but heat right now, and Ashton unable to catch up to it. Runners at the corners, 1 out. 0-2 the count. Strike 3, as Luke picks up a Central Valley Medical Center strikeout for the second out. And 3 straight pitches to Stefanoff, and he watched the third one. That'll bring up his brother, Ty Stefanoff, the second baseman. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Luke Marostica on the mound for Juab has 1 strikeout. Swing and a miss, strike 1, as Luke just continues to bring the heat, and they are unable to catch up to it. 0-1 the count. There's no need to stray away from the fastball right now. Upstairs, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Delta has 1 run in and the score now 7-6 for Juab. Upstairs, ball 2. Luke continues to bring the speed, just missing upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, runners at the corners. Upstairs, ball 3, and Ty Stefanoff ahead in the count, 3-1.
Yeah, walk isn't the worst thing here. Better than giving him a really good pitch to hit.
Yep. Luke steps off, looks back at the runner at first. He'll go back safe. 3-1 the count. Ty Stefanoff the batter for Delta. Outside ball 4 as White takes a base. That'll load the bases.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do with that pitch. Just put it right to where the umpire could call it a strike. Don't give him anything to hit. So now you got.
Zach Bliss, the batter, is playing left field today. Bases are loaded, 2 out. Luke Marostica on the mound for Juab. This is the guy Delta wants up the bat right now is Zach Bliss as he fouls it back. Zach has 2 singles on the day so far. He's 2 for 2. 0-1 the count. Upstairs, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Bases loaded, 2 out. Delta has 1 run in. Luke set to deliver. And a fly ball out to center field, and Trevin Park camps under it to retire the side as Delta picks up 1 run. And now the score is 7-6. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. We're back live at Delta High School, Peyton Park. Niall Robinson bringing you the call. 7-6 the score for Juab. Corbin Buchanan, Hayden Adams, and Trevin Park, the first 3 batters due up for Juab. Meinhardt is still on the mound for Delta as he's come in and pitched well. Kind of kept Juab at bay. Swing and a miss by Corbin, or swinging a foul ball back, and it's 0-1 the count. And Corbin sends one to center field, caught by the center fielder for 1 out. As Corbin put a good look on the ball there, but center fielder was in the right place. That'll bring up Hayden Village Adams. He struck out the first time he walked and come around to score in the third inning. He'll face Meinhardt for the second time. And that's upstairs, ball one. Trevin Park will follow Village. That's in the dirt, ball two. 2-0 the count. Hayden ahead of in the count. He can look for a pitch that's to his liking. And that one's downstairs, ball three, and Hayden has looked at 3 straight balls. No need to swing at this pitch. He'll be taken all the way. In there for a call, strike one. Still ahead of the count, 3-1. As that pitch just barely caught the outside corner. And Hayden, fly ball headed for left fielder, and the left fielder camps under that. As Hayden put good wood on it, but a little bit too high up in the air for it to be a base hit. For the second out, that'll bring up the top of the order, Trevin Park for Juab. Juab leading 7-6 in the top half of the 5th inning. Meinhardt, the pitcher for Delta. Pitch just missed downstairs. Trevin Park, the batter. Out, and Trevin takes one in the back, and he'll go down to first base.
Sounded like just about dead center of the back.
And the thing is I could see it coming, and he turned his back, and there was nowhere for him to go. It was going to hit him no matter what. So he'll take one for the team and trot down to first base. That'll bring up the pitcher, Luke Marostica, with 2 out and a runner on first base. Meinhardt gets a sign, and Trevin is on his way to second base, and he'll have it stolen easily. And another
Jarrett Wicker Real Estate stolen base.
Jarrett Wicker Real Estate stolen base, and that is I believe, the 6th one of the day.
A lot of stolen bags today.
Trevin stole that on Meinhardt. He was off with the pitch, and they wasn't going to catch him. So that was ball one. Oh. So 0-2 the count. Strike 2. That's upstairs, ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luke with a chance to pick up a run right here. Trevin Park on second base. And Luke dribbles it down to first base. And just as it got to the base, it kicked foul. So Luke gets another chance, because that was staying fair the whole way. And just as the ball got to the first baseman, it kicked foul. He caught it, but it just was left of the base, or right of the base.
Yeah, we had a tough angle. I couldn't see it actually was, but it was right there. It was right on that line.
Yeah, it was right there, and the umpire was right on watching it. And so 1-2 the count. Luke with another opportunity. See if he can take advantage of this. And a fly ball to the left side. And caught by the third baseman as he drifted back and camped underneath it. 2 retired aside, so Juab picks up no runs, and we'll be right back. We're back live at Delta High School. Score remains 7-6 going into the bottom half of the 5th inning. Mason Robinson, Tice Grube, and Cash Nielsen, first 3 batters due up for Delta in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Luke Marostica on the mound for Juab. Robinson looks at a pitch outside, ball 1. In there for a call strike at the knees, 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 2 as Robinson went down, tried to pick that up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luke delivers. In there for a called strike 3 and another Central Valley Medical Center strikeout for Luke Marostica.
Man, you can just tell the command for him is there right now. Yep. He's just picking and choosing his spots, really.
First out. And we've got number 6 batting for Tice Grube. And that is going to be another Nielsen, and I'm not sure which one that is. So Nielsen now up the bat, pinch hitting for Grube as Luke brings the first pitch downstairs, inside, ball 1. Ground ball over to Connor Cowan, who scoops it up, touched the base for the second out. A hard hit ball, but Connor stayed right with it. Kept his glove down on the dirt. Brought it in, touched the bag. 2 out, and top of the order to Cash Nielsen for Delta. And that pitch hits Cash Nielsen. Kind of on the same thing the last time he was up the bat. Hit his elbow guard, and both Kai and Luke signaled that he stuck his elbow out there. But Cash is going to go down to first base on the hit batsman. That's going to bring up shortstop Roper Crane with 2 out, and Cash Nielsen, the runner at first base. That's outside, ball 1.
Here we go. 2. There you go.
Two out, runner on first base. Luke throws over to first. Cash back safe. Well, there's a pinch runner for Cash Nielsen, number 14, running for him. Foul ball straight back. 1-1 the count. Roper Crane the batter. Luke bringing the heat for the most part. Throw over to first and runner is back safe.
Yes, among others.
Runner on first, 2 out. 1-1 the count to Roper Crane. Luke again over the first base. And everybody from Juab thought he got him except for the umpire. It looked from our vantage point that he got him, but that's not the case. So the runner will stay at first base, safe. 1-1 the count. And again, Luke over to first base.
One of these times you gotta get
Count remains 1-1 as Luke delivers a fly ball to the right side. Connor can't send it and brings it in for the 3rd out. So Delta unable to pick up any run. They get 1 runner on base via walk. And after 5 complete, Juab leads 7-6. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Back. We're back live at Delta High School. Top half of the 6th inning. Juab still leads 7-6. It's going to be Connor Cowan, Kai Hansen, and Jimmy Case Larson. The first 3 batters due up for Juab in the top half of the 6th inning. Meinhardt still on the mound for Delta, doing a great job. And Connor again had a pitch right in the wheelhouse, and he fouled it back over the backstop. 1-1 the count. In there for a call strike 2. And quickly it's 0-2 the count to Connor Cowan. Connor again fouls it straight back. Count remains 0-2. Meinhardt has done a good job since he come in to pitch. And Connor sends one deep down left field baseline, but it stays foul. Goes to the fence, but just foul. So the count remains 0-2, and that's the hardest hit ball we've seen today. And Connor gets under it, headed to left field, and left fielder comes in, calls the shortstop off, and 1 out in the inning. As Connor got under that one. Now batting for Juab will be Kai Hansen, the catcher. He'll be followed by Jimmy Case Larson. Kai has a couple of RBIs to his name today. He's 1 for 2. In there for a call, strike one. As Meinhardt delivers the fastball. 0-1 the count. In there for a call, strike two, as Kai looked at that one. And count is 0-2. Kai Hansen the batter. Jimmy Case Larson will be next. And Meinhardt pulled the string and left that outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kai Hansen right now, Juab just needs base runners. And Kai hits a fly ball. Second baseman is camped under it. He'll bring it in for the second out. And that'll bring up Jimmy Case Larson, right fielder. 2 out, nobody on base. Meinhardt on the mound for Delta. Jimmy Case Larson looking for the pitch, and just upstairs chin music to Jimmy as he got out of the way. 1-0 the count. Juab clinging to a 7-6 lead in the top half of the 6th inning, and Jimmy fouled that one straight back. So 1-1 the count. Jimmy has grounded out to the first baseman the last 2 times up the bat. And he looked at that pitch and watched it all the way in, and it missed the plate. So 2-1 the count as Jimmy followed that all the way in. Foul ball again, straight back. That'll bring the count to 2-2. And you had to do it, didn't you? You had to say it, didn't you?
Jinxed it.
I shouldn't have said it. Downstairs, ball 3, as the wind is starting to pick up in Delta. I know you find that hard to believe, but the wind blows in Delta. But Peyton, I'm here to tell you, the wind blows in Delta. Been coming out for a lot of years out here, and it wins. And Jimmy draws the walk. Ball 4. And that'll bring up Maddox Stoll, a DH, who has hit the ball hard. Threw out to the center fielder and to knock in a run, and then he's a double and a single to left field. And Maddox again going to the right field, and the right fielder has to back up, and on the warning track catches that ball for the third out, but Maddox give it a ride. So we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay. And we're back live at Delta High School, Peyton Park. Niall Robinson bringing you the action. It's the bottom half of the 6th inning. Juab clinging to a 7-6 lead. And Tyler Davies, the first batter for Delta, and Luke Marosica on the mound with a strike. 0-1 the count. Inside, ball 1, 1-1 the count. Luke has come in and kept Delta at bay since he come in on the mound. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tyler Davies. Cooper Nielsen, the DH, would be next. Just missed outside as Kai tried to frame that. And the umpire wasn't buying it, so it's 2-2 the count. And the ball is hit. And Kevin can't come up with it as it's off his mitt. And the throw comes in from that was a close play at third as Davies is going all the way to third. And safe is the call at third base, so Cooper Nielsen hits a double and takes the third base on the throw.
There we go, boys.
And there's nobody out and a run on third base. And that's going to bring up Cooper Nielsen. And a ground ball gets through between the third baseman and shortstop. And just like that, the score is tied 7-7 as Cooper Nielsen able to get a single in there and score the run. Nobody out. And now batting for Delta, number 25. He's in there for Ashton Stefanoff. And that's going to be Quaila-Bush. Runner on first, nobody out, and the score is tied 7-7. In there for a called strike 1. Two solid hits in this inning, and a run scored to tie up. In there for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count. Luke's got to dig down deep here and try to keep this, keep Delta from scoring any more runs. In there for strike 3 for another Central Valley Medical Center strikeout for Luke Marosica. 1 out. And now Ty Stefanoff will come to the plate. Ty is 0 for 2 with a walk. 1 out. Runner on first base. In there for a called strike 1. Luke bringing the heat. 0-1 the count. 1 out. 1 run in and a runner on first base. And a curveball that just misses upstairs. 1-1 the count. Ty Stefanoff, the batter. And a ground ball to third base. Corbin under it. And unable to make the connection with Connor as the throw is wide, so Stefanoff is going to be on first base. Cooper Nielsen goes to second base. And
It's always tough as on that left side of the infield to throw that ball without taking a crow hop.
yep. So that'll bring up Zach Bliss, the left fielder, with 2 on and 1 out. Runners at first and second. Just outside, ball 1. A dangerous hitter in Zach Bliss up to bat for Delta. 2 on, 1 out. In there for a call strike 1 as that curveball broke right across the outside corner. Zach has had 2 singles. He flew out to center field last time up the bat. And he's also scored twice. 1-1 the count. And the ground ball, let it go foul, and they do. That ball was destined to third base, but it was bouncing foul, and Luke got over there to make sure it stayed foul. So 1-2 the count. That would have been, if that had stayed fair, that would have been a tough play for Corbin to try and make an out. He wouldn't have been able to get the force at third. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Zach Bliss, the batter. Luke needs to throw his best pitch right here and leave Zach standing. And the ground ball over to short. Hayden Adams covering. He throws the second for the force out. For 2 out. And Cooper Nielsen moves on to third. Stefanoff is out at second base.
Go, boys. Hey, coming out. Be ready.
And that'll bring up Mason Robinson. Runners at the corners for Delta. Mason Robinson, the batter. He's 1 for 2 with a single, and he's scored once. Foul ball out of play to the left field side. He was a strikeout victim last time off the bat. Score tied 7-7 as we are in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Delta has runners on first and third, 2 out. And upstairs with the pitch is Luke Morostica. 1-1 the count. Mason checks his cheat sheet. Wanting to know what the coach is asking him to do. 1-1 the count. And a ground ball past the second baseman is going to score a run. And runners again to first and third as Mason Robinson drives in the run, and Delta takes the lead 8-7. So Tice Drube is going to come back in the game and bat. But first, Coach Park is going to go out and talk to Luke. And we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back live at Delta High School. Corbin Buchanan, now the new pitcher for Juab, as Delta has runners at first and third, 2 out, and Ty Strube checks back in to bat in the 9th position. And a line drive caught by,
That's Brock Richards.
Brock Richards playing second base. And Luke went to so that kills the rally for Delta, but they do pick up 2 runs and they take the lead 8-7 after 6 complete. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. School bus. We're back live at Delta High School. Top half of the 7th inning. Delta now leads 8-7, and Colin Madison is going to come back in and bat in his original position. It'll be Corbin Buchanan, and Hayden Adams, the first 3 batters, go up for Juab in the top half of the 7th inning. Bottom of the order. And they need to make something happen right here as Juab finds themselves down a run, 8-7. Meinhardt's still on the mound for Delta. He's done a great job for Delta. Downstairs, ball 1 to Cohen.
Yeah, base runners is the name of the game for Juab this inning. You can get base runners, you have a good shot.
Base runners, that's what we need right here. And in there for a call strike on the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Cohen's a big guy up there. If he can get a pitch to his liking, he could drive it somewhere. Get a base runner. That's outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count as Meinhardt is fishing around the plate, just missing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Colin Madison the batter. And Colin gets a drive to between center and left, or center and right, and Colin is at second base with a stand-up double. And just like that, just what the doctor ordered, is Cohen got one. It's 389 to center field in this field. It's a shot to get it out of here. And that was right to the fence.
It came off the fence, yeah. That was...
So 330 down both lines and 389 in center field. So Corbin Buchanan will be the batter. He'll be followed by Hayden Adams. Corbin looking to pick up Cohen. Meinhardt looks in, gets, and he'll step off as him and the catcher not on the same page. They're going to go out. Catcher's going to go out and talk to him, make sure they're both on the same page. Cash is a short meeting. Cash Nielsen, the catcher. So Meinhardt on the mound. Corn Mattinson, the base runner, at second base. Outside ball 1 to Corbin. 1-0 the count. Corbin Buchanan, the batter. Colin Mattinson, the runner on second base. And Corbin hits a line drive to left field. That's going to put runners at the corners with nobody out as Corbin comes through. And so Corbin Buchanan is going to get a pinch runner. He's the pitcher now, so the pitch runner is going to be Andrew Woodland. And this could be it for Meinhardt on the mound as the Delta coach comes out and takes the ball from him. But Meinhardt has pitched well in this game for Delta.
He throws hard. He's got great command, and he held Juab scoreless for the last 3 innings.
Yeah.
So
Let's see who they're bringing out. 24. So Callister is going to be the new pitcher for Delta. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the thing, you can't put
All right. We're gone. We just had a little break right there. Callister is going to be the new pitcher for Delta as Meinhardt goes 5 innings. He faced 20 batters. He had 2 strikeouts, 5 walks, and gave up 5 hits, but no runs. So Callister is going to be the new pitcher for Delta. Juab has runners at the corners, first and third. Hayden Adams is the batter. Callister looks in. He has the sign. In there for a call, strike 1. Runners at the corners, 0-1 the count. Hayden sends one to the right side, but it's just foul, and the first baseman unable to get to it. 0-2 the count. Hayden Village Adams with a chance here to tie the score up for Juab. 0-2 the count. Callister on the mound for Delta. Ground ball to second base. The run will score. And so a run will score as Hayden hits into a fielder's choice. Corbin's out at second. Now the umpires are going to have a meeting over the play. I don't know what the meeting would be about. The second baseman over to the shortstop for the first out, and the shortstop the first base for the second out. What the discussion would be, I don't have a clue. So the run will score, and that'll tie the game up at 8. And we're at the top of the order with Trevin Park, the batter. I think the Delta coach was just grasping at straws, trying to get something out of them, but there was nothing there. So 2 out. Trevin Park, the batter. Downstairs, ball 1.
It's a good take from Trevin not to chase early.
Go, Trev.
And Trevin sends the ball to left field, over the left fielder's head, and Trevin's going to come into second, and the ball gets away, and he's coming all the way around. He's going to come all the way around to score. Ball got away from the second baseman, past the first baseman, and Trevin just kept running and come all the way around to score.
Yeah, that speed of Trevin, you saw it there. He just didn't stop.
No, he didn't even stop. He didn't even slow down. He just kept running. He's going to get a double out of the base hit anyway. And then with the overthrow, he's just going to cruise into home plate. And Juab takes the lead 9-8. Luke Ross for the batter with 2 out. And the first pitch is a strike to Luke. So there's nobody on base, 2 out. Luke Ross is the batter. Juab has 2 runs in. That pitch is high. And you can't coach speed.
That's very true.
And Luke has a fly ball headed to the right fielder. And he's back at the warning track and brings it in for the 3rd out. But Juab does pick up 2 runs. And they now lead 9-8. With Delta coming up in the bottom half of the 7th inning. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. We're back live at Delta High School. Juab picks up 2 runs in the top half of the 7th inning. They now lead 9-8. Corbin Buchanan is on the mound for Juab, and Delta brings the top of the order to the plate. It'll be Cash Nielsen, Roper Crane, and Tyler Davies. Corbin Buchanan on the mound as the first pitch is outside for ball 1. In there for a call, strike 1, as Corbin will be around the plate, and he throws a lot of curveballs and a lot of stuff, and a fly ball out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cash Nelson. Outside ball, 2-2 the count.
Yeah, the thing about Corbin is it's tough to make solid contact because even his fastball is moving 1 to 2 inches. So it's
ball over to the Juab dugout. Count remains 2-2. Ground ball over to Cohen at third. To first to Connor Cowan. and Connor and Cash have a few words, but it's 5-3 for the first out, and that'll bring Roper Crane up. Roper has been busy. He's 2 for 3 with a walk, and he scored once. That ball is upstairs for ball 1. Swing and a miss by Roper as he chased one down in the dirt. 1-1 the count.
A lot of movement on that curveball.
Corbin has a lot of stuff. I mean, his ball is moving, whether it's a fastball or curveball. It's always moving. In there for a foul strike too, and just a perfect curveball. And it starts at the batter and then breaks right in there. Your best pitch right here, Corbin. Foul ball, and Kai just couldn't hang on to it as it tipped into the mitt, and he just couldn't hang on. So count remains 1-2. As that got a piece of Kai, his got his thumb, I think, on the catcher's mitt. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Corbin Buchanan on the mound for Juab. And a fly ball to left field. And Casey Coons comes running in and grabs that fly ball for the second out. And that'll bring up Tyler Davies, who has had a double his last time up to bat. He is 2 for 4. 2 out, nobody on base. Swing and a miss, strike 1, as Tyler Davies chased that curveball outside.
Yeah, really good jump by Trace on that last ball. He was moving as soon as that thing was off the bat.
So 0-1 the count. In there for a called strike, 0-2. And Corbin Buchanan 1 pitch away from winning this ball game 9-8. That's downstairs, ball 1. Corbin tried to get him to chase one.
Exactly what you want to see there.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And just outside as Ty tried to frame that, but it just missed the outside corner. 2-2 the count. In there for a call strike 3, and that's the end of the ball game. And Corbin Buchanan comes in and sits down the side and gets the win as Juab wins it 9-8. We'll take a break and we'll come back with the final stats. We're back live at Delta High School where Juab just pulled off a 9-8 win over the Delta Rabbits. Corbin Buchanan comes in and faces 5 batters, 2 in the previous inning and 3 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. He gets 1 strikeout, another Central Valley Medical Center strikeout, and he wins the game coming in as Juab picked up 2 runs in the top half of the 7th inning, and just like that, another close game for Juab. We can't seem to put anybody away. We're winning the close ones, which is good, but we need to get some distance between us.
Yep.
So pitching for Juab, Colin Mattinson started. He pitched 2 innings. He faced 11 batters. He gave up 4 walks, 1 hit, and 3 runs. Porter Howard came in and pitched 2 innings. He faced 11 batters, had 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, gave up 3 hits, and he gave up 3 runs. Luke Mirostica came in and he pitched 2 innings and he faced 12 batters. He had 2 strikeouts, gave up 2 walks, gave up 2 hits, and gave up 2 runs. Corbin Buchanan comes in, pitched 2 innings. He faced 5 batters. He had 1 strikeout, but more importantly, he gave up no walks, no hits, or no runs. And the final score ends up 9-8 for Juab as they come out to Delta. Sunny and nice and a great game, and they come away with a win. Austin Park unable to play today. He's sick in bed. Hopefully listening to the game, and we'll let you know, Austin, that we came through and won the game, and hope you get better. So it's Peyton, another close one, another good game. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors once again for the Juab sponsors, and we'll wrap this thing up. Peyton's digging deep. He's got them.
The worst part is I had. Oh, right here.
He got them.
All right. CVMC, Nebo Levitt Insurance, Newton Construction, Kerry Anderson Real Estate, Chili's, HRB Plumbing, The Cages in Nephi, Lindsay and Holly Real Estate, Parks Home Furnishings, and Joe Wicker Real Estate.
So, all in all, we had 5 Central Valley Medical Center strikeouts. We had 7 Jarrett Wicker stolen bases.
That's impressive.
We did have a triple that Holly and
Lindsay Real Estate
sponsors. And like I say, another close game. Juab comes out on top 9-8. Thanks for joining us. We'll be on the air next week again as we face. I can't remember who we face. I'm sure we face. Richfield next week. We have Richfield next week. So
right.
Thanks for joining us. And if you want to be a sponsor, just contact Coach Josh Park, and he'll get you set up. For Peyton Park, I'm Niall Robinson. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time.